What separates busy executives from truly effective ones? Why do some leaders create extraordinary results while others remain overwhelmed and reactive? And what if effectiveness is not a personality trait, but a skill that can be learned, practiced, and mastered? These are the core ideas explored in The Effective Executive by Peter Drucker, one of the most influential management thinkers of all time. Drucker begins with a powerful statement. Effectiveness is a discipline. It is not about intelligence, charisma, or talent. It is about habits. The effective executive does not rely on natural brilliance. They rely on learned behaviors that consistently produce results. In a world filled with information, meetings, and constant demands, effectiveness becomes the ultimate competitive advantage. The first habit of effective executives is managing time. Drucker argues that time is the scarcest resource. Unlike money, it cannot be saved or multiplied. Most executives believe they know how they spend their time, but when they actually record it, they are often surprised. Small interruptions, unnecessary meetings, and reactive tasks consume enormous amounts of energy. Drucker emphasizes that effective executives do not start with plans. They start with time analysis. They ask what truly deserves attention. They eliminate or delegate activities that do not contribute to meaningful results. They focus on large blocks of uninterrupted time for high-impact work. Productivity is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. The second habit is focusing on contribution. Instead of asking what they want to achieve, effective executives ask what the organization needs from them. They define their role by results, not by effort. Contribution shifts attention away from activity and toward impact. Drucker explains that organizations exist to produce results outside themselves. Internal efficiency means little if it does not create external value. Effective executives align their decisions with outcomes that matter to customers, stakeholders, and society. They measure success by contribution, not busyness. The third habit is building on strengths. Drucker argues that energy should be invested in developing strengths rather than fixing weaknesses. Organizations often waste time trying to eliminate flaws instead of amplifying capabilities. Effective executives identify their own strengths and place people in roles where they can perform at their best. This principle applies to hiring and promotion. Instead of searching for perfect candidates, effective leaders seek individuals with strong capabilities in key areas. Weaknesses can be managed. Strengths create results. When people operate within their strengths, performance increases dramatically. The fourth habit is setting priorities. Drucker makes a clear distinction between what is urgent and what is important. Urgency demands attention. Importance creates impact. Effective executives focus on a few critical priorities rather than spreading themselves thin. Drucker warns against trying to do too many things at once. Multitasking dilutes quality. Concentration increases effectiveness. The discipline of choosing what not to do is as important as choosing what to do. Saying no is a strategic decision. The fifth habit is making effective decisions. Drucker explains that decision-making is not about speed, it is about clarity. Effective decisions are based on principles, not on isolated facts. Leaders must define the problem correctly before attempting to solve it. Misdiagnosing a problem leads to wasted effort. Drucker emphasizes the importance of dissent in decision-making. Agreement without discussion often hides blind spots. Encouraging differing viewpoints improves quality of judgment. Effective executives Welcome disagreement because it sharpens thinking. Another key idea in the effective executive is the importance of personal responsibility. Executives are responsible for their own effectiveness. Blaming circumstances, colleagues, or systems reduces agency. Drucker argues that effectiveness begins with accountability. He also highlights the importance of self-management. Understanding how you work best increases performance. Some people make decisions quickly. Others require reflection. Some communicate best in writing, others in conversation. Knowing your strengths and work style allows you to design your day effectively. Drucker also discusses the danger of over-planning. While strategy is essential, excessive forecasting wastes time. Focus on what can be controlled. Adapt when circumstances change. Flexibility combined with clarity produces better outcomes than rigid plans. Another major theme is the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency means doing things right. Effectiveness means doing the right things. Organizations often reward efficiency, but without effectiveness, efficiency becomes meaningless. Choosing the right priorities determines success. Drucker also addresses the role of executives in knowledge work. In modern organizations, value is created by knowledge rather than manual labor. Managing knowledge workers requires autonomy, clarity of purpose, and trust. Micromanagement destroys creativity and initiative. He emphasizes that executives must create systems that allow others to perform. Leadership is not about personal achievement. It is about enabling collective results. Building structures, clarifying expectations, and aligning goals multiply impact. Drucker also explains that effectiveness requires courage. Prioritizing means disappointing someone. Delegating requires trust. Eliminating unnecessary tasks may challenge tradition. Effective executives accept discomfort as part of leadership. Another critical insight is that executives must continuously ask what can be improved. Reflection is part of effectiveness. After decisions are implemented, results should be reviewed. What worked? What failed? Learning loops refine judgment over time. Drucker's philosophy emphasizes long-term thinking. Short-term wins may create temporary success, but sustainable results require patience and consistency. Effective executives balance immediate demands with strategic direction. The book also highlights that effectiveness is not reserved for top leaders. Anyone responsible for results can cultivate it. Middle managers, entrepreneurs, and professionals all benefit from applying these principles. Drucker ultimately argues that organizations rise or fall based on effectiveness. Talent without discipline fails. Resources without focus are wasted. Clear priorities and consistent execution determine success. The deeper message of the effective executive is that leadership is intentional. It is not reactive. It is not accidental. It is built on habits that compound over time. When executives manage time, focus on contribution, build on strengths, set priorities, and make sound decisions, they create lasting impact. The big takeaway from The Effective Executive is simple yet powerful. Effectiveness is a skill. It can be learned. It requires discipline, clarity, and courage. When you focus on contribution and concentrate on what truly matters, results follow. So which habit from The Effective Executive stands out to you most? Managing time, focusing on contribution, building on strengths, setting priorities, or improving decision-making? Share your thoughts in the comments And if you enjoyed this summary, like this video, subscribe to 10-Minute Books, and tap the bell so you never miss our weekly deep dives into life-changing books. Remember, effectiveness is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most.